Yeah, I confess, Father, I confess, 'cause I've been living wrong. I know.
I don't give a fuck. Come on, boys. Just ride it, going so close to the fucking line. Subi. Yes, boys, I love this adrenaline rush. Come on. Yes, boys. We're going home, and I have a topic to talk about, which is how to start riding a motorcycle in UK. You can start. Oh my god. Wait, let me just keep up first of all. Yeah, how to start riding a motorcycle in UK. You can start riding a ped when you're 16. All you need is to get CBT done, which is 1 day course. First of all, you practice on the actual, like a little playground, like a little course, and then you're gonna street, and then the instructor decides if you're capable to be safe on the road or not, and then he basically just gives like a little certificate, and that's it. But before that, you need to get your provisional. You apply that to the DVLA, you get all the papers, send off. I think it's like £30, and it comes in with 4 weeks, I think. I can't remember exactly. So yeah, and then you pass that. Well, let's say you turn 17, you pass the CBT. Turn 17, you want to get on a bit bigger bike, like a 125, which can only produce 15 horsepower maximum. You go redo your CBT, obviously, and you get this category called A, which basically means you can drive any 125 with displaying L plates. It's exactly the same thing as for a ped. You do the same thing, of course, but just on a different bike. This time it's going to be on a bigger bike, 125 obviously. And it's the same, exactly the same thing. But when you turn 19, that's what I'm going to be doing this year, it's your A2 license. This course takes, I think the minimum is 3 days and the maximum is a week. So I think it's 5 or 6 days. I know that's not exactly a week, but working days. I'm going to try to do mine in 4. What you do is, obviously you're allowed to ride any bike that doesn't produce over, I think it's 94 horsepower, and you have to restrict it down to 44, or you can just get a smaller bike. And the way the course works is you go in 4 days. Let's say, for example, we pick for 4 days. You go in for 4 days straight. The 2 days you'll be practicing on the little playground, you can say, on a bigger bike. I think it's like a 400 or 500 or maybe 300, I can't remember. After you practice on that, you have your exam, which is basically theory, like for a car, but it's obviously a bit different. And out of 50 questions, you need to get 43 right to actually pass. And if you pass that, then you have your last final, like a practical exam, which you go onto the road with the instructor and you go for a ride. It's exactly the same thing as in CBT, but that ride is going to be more longer, and it's going to be obviously going a bit faster than your CBT. You'll be going at least like 40 and 60, taking sharp turns. Yeah, and after you do that, if he says you passed, well then you passed. Obviously you wait for your papers to arrive. Get insured, get a bike, get restricted. Some insurance companies ask for a certificate. If you restrict your bike, they actually want this actual real certificate of being restricted. And then after 2 years, you're allowed to apply for your full license, which no restrictions, any size bike you want, and it's the same way as A2, but you're just going to be learning on a bigger bike, and the law might the exam might be a bit different as well, like the theory, because obviously on a bigger bike there's more weight to the ratio, as you can say. Oh my god, come on, this guy, man, fuck. I love doing that. Well, come on, we're going to fucking 25s, 30 down here. And yeah, well, if you pass that, then you can get any bike you want. I already have an idea what bike I want to get, but it's a bit expensive, obviously, because it's a litre. Look, I don't have to wait for him to turn. So I don't have to wait for him either. And yeah, basically that's how the way the UK license and / age you need to be to actually get different license types. it's a bit complicated in some countries, like in USA. I think when you're 18 you're allowed to go straight for your A2 and or full license. I can't exactly remember how it works, but then obviously you're not that, like you can say, you're not in that inexperienced rider, because if you take in stages like we do in England, you have to work your way up to actually get that elite bike, or even the 650 or 750. Yeah, that's the way it works. It's a bit complicated, I can't lie. And I thought as soon as I turn 18 I can go for fucking get a jigsaw. Nope, I can't. I was trying to get a fucking jigsaw like 2010 K6 or L1, I don't know, the 600, and fuck around on that, but then clearly I can't. So I'm getting a big bike, but I'm getting it restricted. That's a little hint for you guys, but I'm not going to tell you what bike I'm getting because that's going to be a surprise. And I'm going for my license around, well, November, let's say November time. That's when I'm going for my license. Come on, we ain't gonna make it, are we? Of course we ain't. Oh Jesus Christ, make your mind up. Can't give me some space at least. Well, you gave me space. Oh God, this is gonna be tight.
You